Excellent. Excellent. All right. So listen, I'm excited. We're going to jump in because we got a whole lot to cover. And yeah, I don't want to waste a moment, not one moment of your time. So how long have you been on this journey? This
Goodness sake, been on this journey, I guess I would say about 10 years now. Yeah, it all started like in 2011. And so, yeah, so
okay.
it's been a journey. It's been a
Yeah,
beautiful, I must say. Uh,
yeah.
Prosperous and amazing and beautiful and magical. I will say magical. It's been magical. It's been
Awesome. So what got you started? How did that begin for you? Because for me, when I say my journey, it's interesting because when you really understand, we're always on the journey. It's like when we become aware of it, is like, oh wow, okay, that's why those things were happening. So
yeah.
when you became aware of being on your journey, what was going on in your life at the time? How did you get started?
I got started because I started going into reading self improvement books. I remember I was a paralegal for about 15 to 20 years of my life. And I remember, I had the house, I had the family, I had everything like really nice. And I said, I know there's something more to life than this. Like, we didn't just come here to work, wait till we're 65 to retire, and that's it. Like, there's more to life than all of this. So I started looking into meditation and self improvement, and I started realizing that a lot of our programs and patterns were emotionally based traumas from our childhood. And I always felt like I had so many other passions, and I didn't feel that you picking and going to school and just focusing on one career was it, when we're such different beings. We are so multidimensional. We have so many sides to us. So it didn't sit with me. So I was like the rebel in the family. I was like, no, I don't think so. I question everything, and I'm very into metaphysical stuff, esoteric stuff. So I questioned the reality. I will question the doctors. I will question the teachers. I lived on my own rules. So that pushed me into studying my own spiritual path, learning to understand what was it to be on the journey. And I realized that being on the journey was more of being authentic and transparent to self.
Oh man, you see, you done said a whole mouthful right there.
Mm,
Authentic to within yourself.
yeah,
I just had that conversation today with a
yeah,
friend
it
about
was,
being authentic,
yeah,
because we as women a lot of times we're taught just in action and deed. It doesn't even have to be spoken to us that we should or should not do certain things, but it's indicated, it's assumed that you're supposed to sacrifice everything for
come,
everybody else for everybody else, and you're supposed to smile even when you're angry, and you're not supposed to, be too loud, or you're not supposed to, all of those things that put
yeah,
you in this box that don't allow you to really be authentically who you
yeah,
want to be.
yeah.
So that is huge.
That was huge. I think for people that are starting on their journey, I think like being truthful to who you are, me becoming a spiritual teacher, becoming a healer, becoming a spiritual guide for many people. I tell everybody I curse, I have my flaws, I have my shadow self, and I'm just gonna be who I am so that you can have the space of to be who you are. Like if you're going through meditations and you're going through your negative thinking and all of that, it's okay,
Yeah,
because a lot of people in the spiritual community, they want to put positivity, love, and light to everything. And it just doesn't work like that. You need to learn how to transparent the dark shadow and go within yourself and go into and look at your stuff. Really look within yourself. Like, shoot, I messed up. I have these patterns and I am dealing with this emotional trauma.
yeah.
So I did a lot of self-healing before I
Mhm.
even teacher or a guide for a lot of people.
Oh, you
Uh,
have to. You
yeah.
absolutely have to. And then when you're working with people, I call people like yourself and Dr. Pierman and, you
Yeah.
know, the people who are charged with being a light in the darkness,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
guess what? You got to get in the darkness in order to find the
Yeah.
light. you,
Yeah.
you
Tell
really, really do.
Master Joshua Ben Joseph, which is Jesus, right? Known as Jesus, right? He didn't walk around, saying to like the beggars or the alcoholics, "Oh, I cannot hang out with you." He went in, and wherever he went, he brought in the light, that spirit,
Yeah.
So we need to learn how to connect with that. And I feel like other people in the spiritual path, sometimes they don't want to deal with that,
Yeah.
and you need to find out where your triggers are so you can work on them if you are triggering
Oh,
you.
hello. You are listen, okay? This is my news flash for everybody. We are individually responsible for the energy we carry and the energy we entertain. So
Yep.
the more you talk about what other people are doing, trust me that you got to get in the mirror with yourself, with all of that stuff. No matter what anybody else is doing, there's something you are contributing to that scenario that's making it exist.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
was
know,
reading. I love Rhonda's, and Rhonda says, if you think you're so enlightened, go spend a week with your family.
hey,
Oh,
have you for that?
you
Yeah,
got
how about
figure
that?
out enlightened. Go spend a week with your family. Let's go hang out with mom and dad and uncles and
That's
cousins.
right.
That's
Yep,
how enlightened you are.
that's
So
right.
I
It's
keep
true.
I embody that, and I look at my triggers, and it's important. It's important to be who you really are so that you can give the space to your students, to your followers, so they can also embody who they are, even if it's dark or light, so they can love themselves wholeheartedly.
Exactly. When we spend too much time trying to suppress the things that don't appeal to us or to
Right.
appeal to other people, instead of, what I tell people is when you feel pain, when you feel frustration, when you feel anger, when you feel any of these things, that simply means there's a part of you that needs your attention. That's
Yep.
it. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It means
It's
that there's something within you that needs your attention. It's not the other person. It's not what they did. It's not what they said. There's something unhealed within you that needs your attention.
exactly.
So okay, let's moving right along to yes, ma'am. I'm gonna need you to share with me about plant medicine. So now,
Okay.
when you say plant medicine, there's a lot of plants out there that people are.
So yeah, so now I started with plant medicines, like I said, many many years ago, and I see it now in the spiritual community that's showing up a lot now. And I work with ayahuasca, with psilocybin, which are mushrooms, with bufo, which is toe medicine. And I started on my plant medicine because I'm a teacher. I do a workshops, a 4-day workshop, which is a deep metaphysical 4-day workshop that it just blew my mind when I took it, and it changed my life. So I became a teacher of it. And
Mm,
I remember going to this teaching course, and all these other teachers were like, "Oh my God, you're from Peru. Have you tried plant ayahuasca?" And in my head, I'm like, "No," because I'm not really into doing any type of like, uh, you know, marijuana or like DMT. I was never into that. To me, it was all about meditation, and So I said ayahuasca. They were like, "It's the most potent plant in the jungle," and it's like people go into like mushrooms, and then they do marijuana and they do DMT. Ayahuasca is like the mother of all plants. So studying this, I realized that Earth, our Pachamama, Mother Earth, has all these amazing plants for like your stomach aches, like chamomile, lavender. She has all these amazing plants. If you have a headache, if you have a stomach ache, if you have this, if you have any type of disease, there is a plant for everything.
mhm.
Well, Mother ayahuasca, this plant was the plant for any emotional traumas, any shadow work that you needed to do. And people in the jungle,
Hey,
yeah. So it's like they say, if you do 3 ayahuasca sessions, that relieves you for 10 years of therapy.
what?
Yeah. So of course I'm like, all right, I need to go to Peru, and I need to go to, and I want to have an ego death. I want to know. I'm in my head. It's
Yeah,
like, I want to be out there teaching and guiding people. I want to be I want to clean as much as I can clean. And if this ayahuasca is going to do this for me, I am going to go ahead and take it. So I went to the jungles of Peru. I was there for about, I guess, 15 days to sit with the medicine. And I tell you, it was tough. It was, I don't know if it was tough drinking the medicine or it was more tough for me to be in the middle of the jungle with no address, in a little teepee, a little hut with no bathroom, no light, no electricity, no cell phone.
Wow.
Jungle, and just trusting the universe that I would not get killed.
Eaten by an animal. Wait. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Trusting the universe that I would not get killed because nobody will ever find my body, type of thing. You know? My mom was like, are you sure you're going to go out in the middle of the woods? It's the jungle. You're going to go deep. And I said, listen, I have a connection. I'm trusting. And I really need to do this. Like everything in my body, my soul, my spirit was asking me to do this. So I sat with the medicine for 15 days. I sat with it. I had to go through a diet, you know, eating light, eating vegan, you know, so do the shadow work, do a lot of shadow work. So you drink this medicine and it's like you're going through past lives. You're going through patterns, and she comes in and she's like, oh, let's see what you have in here. Oh, that little trauma when you were 3 years old. Let's bring this out. You know, let's look at this. Let's look. Oh, really? You really think that? Okay. So I was crying and it was just amazing. It was, for me, it was amazing. And I was ready to then my connection with Mother Earth and Father Sun and the elementals and the fire and the wind. I mean, I was always very connected since I was a little girl. I was born and raised in Peru. But when I came to the United States, you know, you create this ego and you create these walls because, you know, you're getting bullied at school. People are not too nice to you. So I became another person, and it's like you have all these layers. So with ayahuasca, it was just like you no longer need to be all those masks or all those layers of that person. So it was just like you need to just get rid of them because at the end of the road was for you to become authentic. And you know what is authenticity is? Going back to being who you were when you were 2 or 3 years old. That little kid that when they cry because they want something, because I want it and I'm crying, and you know, and just saying the truth. You know, the kids always tell the truth and they don't care who they are. They will go to the park and they see a little kid. Hey, you want to play? You want to be friends? Let's do it. Let's be friends. Yeah. And let's enjoy life. You know? So instead of having this demeanor of no, you know, being able to be vulnerable. I always say that love is your greatest weapon and vulnerability is your biggest strength. Because it's hard for everybody to put up the walls and be mean and be like, you know, like mean. And it's so hard. But being able to carry your heart and being able to show people the love and the compassion and the kindness and for tears to flow when someone hurt you instead of you stopping them and
suppressing it and trying to hide it, and that's difficult stuff. But the interesting thing is that is more difficult than being authentic. But because we practice it, whatever you practice, you get good at. So if you get practiced at having these walls up, and you get practiced at having this edge and this attitude and this nastiness, whatever it is that you get good. I tell my children all the time, whatever you do consistently, you get good at. So be careful what you practice.
Exactly.
It's that simple, you know. And so be really getting in within yourself. Listen, when I started meditating, I realized immediately why people are not flocking to do this. It's not easy work. It's not easy work. You know, we spend so much time pointing fingers at other people and what they've done and what they're doing and replaying it and talking about it and listening to it and giving opinions. And if it was this way and that, I mean, we spend so much time doing it. We watch other people do it, so we get really good at it. And that keeps you from actually going within and healing it.
Yeah. Actually, you end up becoming of how people think or how they perceive you. You become their prisoner, you know? So you need to just agree. And I tell that to my girls. I said, there's nothing more beautiful than you being who you are, because you know what happens when you become who you are and you just don't give a F. I said, people admire you. People
Yes,
next to you because you are
yes,
showing something that they wish they can do, you know?
yes,
They
yes.
so they look up to you. They want to be around you. They want to I go because it's authenticity, and it's inspiring and it's loving, and there's a light and a glow behind you because you're loving who you are and you're loving yourself in such in every step and form. So when I started this path, I went through it. I went through it, and I shed, and I'm still working. It's a work in progress. It's
It's
like,
a
oh,
process.
it's always, you're always evolving, you're always changing, because life is a spiral. You're
That's right.
always growing, and you're always seeking, and and it's beautiful. And it's also beautiful just to be, you know,
Yes.
just
Oh
to,
my God. Well,
just to,
it is so true when I tell people, I'm like, if you only really took just a minute to realize that of the billions of people on this planet in history, you are the only one of you that's ever existed that's having the experience that you're having,
it's
the only
beautiful.
one. So you
Good.
enjoy it. You don't have to compare it to someone else's. It doesn't have to look like somebody else's. It doesn't have to, you don't have to get the approval or permission from anybody to be who you truly are. But we're so afraid to step out of the box that's been created.
Hmm.
I, mm, mm. Okay.
So
Yes.
that's I started on my ayahuasca path, and then having these deep, magical connections with Source, with Spirit, with Mother Earth, with the mountains. I remember connecting and going into my meditations and getting all these downloads and all these messages telling me, Evelyn, you're going to start leading retreats to Peru and to different parts of the world. And I used to say, me? Who the hell am
Yes.
I? Joy, you want me to? Because I'm a little crazy, I'm a little out there. And they were like, yo. And then they said, just set the intention and they'll come. And you know what? I've been doing this 7 years of my life, leading mystical journeys to Peru and adventures, and working with the plant medicine as well over there. For those who want it, who want to go deeper into their sovereignty, into their authentic selves, working with the plant medicines I've been doing, and
Mm.
and it's been magical. Like a lot of my students have, it's beautiful. I just did a retreat in August to Jamaica, and again, it's the same students that are always coming back, and the same people, and to me, it's like I'm doing something right because you guys continue coming to my, and they're like, we'll follow you wherever you go. He was like, because it's the trust, it's the authenticity, it's the love. Sometimes we're here to play. If you guys want to play, we'll do an adventure and we'll play and we'll have fun and
Yeah.
we'll do deep healing work, because life is balance.
Yes.
It's all balance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
all of, it's all about enjoying, also being in this third dimensional world and being able to be. Right now I'm going through my Kali Yuga stage, which is meaning that I'm ending a very big cycle, and it's like coming back to this material world, because I was up there like in the spiritual realm. And I remember
Mm.
coming back at times, and my daughter's putting like hip hop or R&B, and I'm like, guys, you guys gotta give me 3 days, 3 days,
Yeah.
because I need to ground. I
That's
need to,
right.
because it was staticky for me.
Yeah.
So I am in a space now that I can go into certain places and I could mingle with that vibration, because
Mm.
it's not affecting me anymore.
Hmm.
Versus
Yeah.
a lot of people cannot go to certain spots because their vibration is kind of low. I mean, you see it in when you go to let's say Walmart versus Home Goods, versus, it's just third dimensional, but it's different vibes, different.
But people don't even pay attention. We don't even realize. It's so interesting because when you really begin to learn, and all you got to do is want to know. That's it. When you want to know, the information will come to you. Because, like you said, we all feel it. You go into a
You
certain place because of the way you feel. You enjoy certain TV shows because of the way it makes you feel. You enjoy certain movies or certain people's homes, or you dislike
know,
certain music because the way it makes you
yeah,
feel. And
yeah,
until you become really, really clear that's a part of you, and that is your signal. That's your, we depend so much on GPS. We don't realize that vibration is your own personal GPS. It's
Exactly.
telling you where to go and where to be and who not to be around, but we're not taught to pay attention to that.
But you know what that is? That's called awareness. And I think that that's huge in this path. You know, a lot of people, when they have awareness, that's everything. Because once you have awareness, you know what you need to work on. Once you have awareness, you start discovering, oh, well, this is not within me. This is not in my vibration. You become awareness, and people go through life without awareness. But I tell
Ooh.
people, once you turn on that awareness, it's a, it's a,
Um,
it's a shift.
it's huge,
It's
huge.
huge.
Huge, huge, huge. It's like it is the thing.
It is.
Awareness. If I could wish one thing on the world, it would be awareness.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about that? Because when you're aware, now you're deliberately creating. That's what I teach my clients. I'm like, it's one thing, most people are creating by default and don't
Right.
understand why things don't work out
Right.
because they're not aware. But when you
Exactly.
begin to deliberately
Everything.
create. You are co-creating with everything around you because everything you need is here on the planet.
Exactly. Exactly.
Everything. When you
Yeah.
become really
That's what
aware,
I say that to
say,
the client, to the students. It's like, because your subconscious minds, like we're here right now, right, having this beautiful podcast, but then our subconscious minds, like for me, like I'm in the middle of the woods now, so my subconscious mind is all grasping everything. So I always
yeah,
tell them, the subconscious mind is how you decorate your home, how the energy of your house, the plants, the pictures, everything, because that's your temple. So just subconscious mind is, because I love feng shui too. So and I love
because it's all
numerology.
connected. It's all connected. You are gonna have to do one little panoramic and show everybody what it is that I saw. You
Yeah,
have to, because I'm like, oh my gosh, where is she? I need to get there. I need
yeah.
to be where you
It's
are.
it's so beautiful. It's
Oh
just
my God.
magical, magical. But so for me, so people are co-creating. Let's go back into what you said about manifesting, right? Um, you said something about how to manifest or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
deliberately manifesting as opposed to manifesting by default.
right. So how, like the 4-day workshop that I teach, it was about actually manifesting from your heart space. How to
Mm.
manifest the reality that you wish in this magical, because the word is magical. But the reason why people are not manifesting, or they're not manifesting what they want in life, because there's some pattern, right? Or a mental program or trauma that they still haven't cleared, right? So having to clear that mental program or that trauma, or from your subconscious mind, is beautiful. From that subconscious
Yes,
is super super important.
yes.
So what I do with people in assisting them is, first things first is healing the emotional trauma, and usually your traumas come from your parents. Right? They traumatize us,
They
and
did, the thing is, they did the best they knew how to do. And the crazy thing is, it comes from their parents and their parents' parents. It's passed down, you
yeah.
know?
So learning to become aware of breaking those patterns is
Yes,
huge. So forgiving and asking for forgiveness and
yes.
connecting back to your inner child and going through what that inner child. So from there, you're cleansing and you're clearing all paradigms, all belief systems to no longer serve you, right? Belief systems. So
Wait a minute, pause. You know, say something, lady, because the belief systems are something else.
exactly,
Those
exactly.
beliefs, and there's so many people don't realize that your beliefs are yours to change when they no longer serve you.
Mhm. Yeah. So to me, that
Okay.
was huge to realize the belief systems, and it came from school,
Mm-hmm.
it came from your parents, it came from religion, right? So
Yep.
I remember being in church when I was a little girl in Peru, and I would go to I was born raised Catholic, and I would go to church, and they would tell me, that I was born a sinner. And I remember being 9 years old and saying, but wait, how was I born a sinner if I just got here 9 years ago? And I'm so if people go to a church and they go and they tell you every single day that you were born a sinner, unconsciously you're already thinking you're blemish. You're not.
Oh,
And
blemish. No, if I'm a sinner, then I mean, what is there for me to do? What can I do?
I have, regardless of anything, I'm still a sinner. So even if I do great, I was born a sinner. So that mental program and I told this to people, I was like, that belief system, that doesn't. So when I started on my path, I studied Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity. I studied. So I put all of these like in a buffet. When you go eat at an all eat buffet and you're picking what you choose. So that's what I did. I got my platter and I went to every religion and I put in my platter what was I thought would be the best for me to become the highest version of myself. And of anything that did not serve me. So at the end,
I have to applaud you for that. I have to applaud you for that. Because I went on a similar journey, a similar search myself.
Yeah.
And, it's not an easy thing to say out in public,
You will
that
meet parents. You're gonna see and and it's that's what served me.